how has it been, releasing music? And I know you have new music coming out. Do you feel that the genre and production that you're doing now is different than what you've done in the past? Do you have a different method of recording? How has that, been for you so far?
That's a really good question. I think every artist will tell you that like every song's a little different or like it comes out in a different way. But I think being a band, like we're hanging out together all the time, so a lot of the work is like not even really working on the song. We're just like talking about it or talking about what we like about it or different songs. So a lot of it feels like sort of just putting our heads together and kind of like business meeting-y sometimes. But like this new song Damn Shame that's coming out, like we had been kicking that and a bunch of other songs around for a while. And I don't know, it's like because we have so many minds that can achieve so many things together, it's like we almost have to like wait for a universal sign to tell us that it's the right choice, I guess. So this one kind of fell into our lap. And I don't know, I guess with our production too, we're like just trying to streamline things and introduce our music to new people who maybe don't have the time to like go back and listen to like our 4 albums from high school and stuff. So it's just like, how can we be as concise and clear and like get the idea across as easy as possible while still making it be a catchy song, I guess.
Yeah, I think with every iteration of our music, we're just trying to get simpler and simpler. And I think like at its core, music should be like at its simplest form, a great song. And I think like it took us a while to learn that, especially because like in our early music, it was mainly about the production, like making the craziest production we could work. And as we've grown older, we've realized that that's not totally the thing to do, or at least not what we want to do. So now we're striving to just make the simplest, best songs we can, both songwriting wise, but also production wise. And it's a lot more of the 4 of us sitting down with an acoustic guitar and making sure the song structure and the lyrics and the melodies are solid, but also reminding ourselves that when we're producing it out, not to take it maybe as far as we're inclined to do. And the restraint at first was really hard, but we're getting the hang of it, and I think it's for the better.
I think we just want it to feel like it's us and it's you, and there's not much else going on.
Awesome, yeah. So you feel like it's like matured in a way where even though it's like subtler, it's you've matured as a band and are able to kind of come full circle around like what you've learned by being friends with each other, as well as growing up and playing music together since high school now. And how long have you guys known each other?
Yeah, we've been doing this together for 8 years.
Yeah, it's coming up on it.
Coming up on 8 years, yeah. And we've known each other for even longer than that. There's been so many iterations, and we just have so much fun, and we all just sit down and want to make all kinds of stuff. So what's really like risen to the top has been just the simplest and most true stuff,
I think too, like this year we've done a good job of trying to just branch out and do other things besides music. Like we've just been really active on social media and trying to be in New York and just doing things. In a way, I think for us too, it's made it a little less emotional as well. Like, and I don't think that being super emotional about your music is a bad thing at all, but I think we could really grovel over stuff because we want things to be perfect, or we, like Henry was saying, we want to include every production element or make something that's like super just like catch you off guard. But it's been nice to have this year of like just growing and maturing and realizing that like sometimes the best things can be sort of easy and you don't have to like force something that doesn't make sense. So I think we've gotten better at just sort of going with the flow and trying to have a good time and not letting any decision or any musical choice like get in the way of just like keeping the flow going. So that's been really nice to not like catastrophize like we need to put this out or we need to do this. It's just like, no, we have good songs, we've been working really hard, let's just trust ourselves and not question everything all the time, I guess.
Absolutely. To go off, about social media, and like we live in such a digital age where people's attention spans are like 5 seconds. The longest someone can look is probably like 35 seconds. Obviously you've been doing very well by like doing skits and all this kind of stuff. What was there any hesitance to kind of dive into more of the comedy route, or has it helped with translating to streams, or do you find that you've added any of that to your live performances, and has it had like more of an open outlook on how you want to like restructure yourself in terms of performing?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it all comes from us wanting to just be out there and people to see who we are. And then we found that like quickly that would just translate directly to someone coming up to us on the street and wanting to take a picture with us, and then translates to someone coming to our show in New York. Like, so it's all just the same feeling of people wanting people to know who Laundry Day is. So I guess once we stopped even asking any questions about it, of like, oh, would this make sense? Are people going to get the wrong idea about us, and just like be ourselves and just not hold back and just post a bunch more, like a lot of things opened up for us, because we weren't trying to like curate an aesthetic and actually just be a band hanging out. And then that totally translated. And then, you know, understanding that no matter what, like we have 8 years of being a band to back up everything we do. So the music speaks for itself in that way. People know we're a band, you know, no matter what we do, even if we're posting a bunch of funny stuff all summer. And it just makes everything else more fun. It makes the fans after the shows like more excited to talk to us, and we film videos with them. And so it's just like, it builds the community out in a nice way.
Yeah. I think to that point too, like, I think, like I was talking about before, like just maturing and taking the emotion out of it. I think it's easy. And I think when we started doing it, we were really worried that people would just take us for like comedians and sort of like it would be a joke. But I think that actually is the whole kind of allure of it in a way. Like just the fact that if we can be genuine and show that we're being nonchalant, then like people can pick up on that. For example, we posted a TikTok a little bit ago when we were on tour in Europe with Tizo Touchdown, of like us just jamming out with him, and we like made like a random song just jamming with him. And I was looking at it last night, funny enough, and I was reading the comments, and everyone was like, this is the first genuine thing I've seen them do, or like, this is actually so good, like you guys need to make this a song. And just this idea that like maybe we thought before that these two worlds had to be so separate, like we need to make funny content, but then we need to convince people that we're serious and making music. And we posted that jam, which we literally just came up with, like we came up with it on the spot, and all the comments were like, release this now, or like release this song. And that just goes back to what I was saying, that like sometimes things are easy. Like sometimes we could spend forever thinking about the right melody or the right song or what's going to be the next moment, but we like post a freestyle with Tizo and they're like, this is genius, like every lyric is great, and you just came up with it on the spot. So I think it's about patience too, like not wanting to force anything on any fan or any person. And I kind of love when people have no idea that we're a band until they see us play, because it like prolongs their interaction with us that much more. So it's just about sort of like, yeah, being yourself and not trying to force like this has to be the next big song or this has to go viral. It's just like, make your stuff, and you can't predict what will kind of hit or what won't hit, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like, you know, making room to be authentic and to be truly yourself while doing what you love is awesome, especially the fact that you know, while you're creating this content, you're getting other ideas and it's streamlining to whatever you want to do at the end of the day. And I think that like meme culture is so important. I mean, like that's how I started like doing my thing.
Yeah.
And it's I think humor brings people together, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of you guys going on tour in Europe, did you find culturally there was a big difference interacting with fans over there than over here? Because I know you're a New York band, you grew up here, this is your home. Being so far away from home, what was one of like the hardest things to, I guess, come to terms with all over there, or to relate to people?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the humor, you know, follows us wherever we go. I don't think we can escape it. And I think when you're playing shows, it's like an exchange of energy between you and the audience. But I remember one funny moment that was a challenge was we stepped out onto stage in Paris. And usually when you walk out, I mean, we're lucky enough that people generally just applaud, you know, before we haven't
like
done anything.
Cue,
yeah, it's like, yeah, let's get it going. But in Paris, it was silent. And I just remember Sawyer going, I was like, okay, it's going to be silent until we start playing. We're going to earn our applause. And then Sawyer goes, hey. People in the front were like, hi. And it was like, oh my God, this is awkward energy.
Yeah, we won them over, but that was definitely weird. I think, I can steal a little. I think also like it was cool because it was Tizo's first time on a headline tour. So like there was this cool energy of like, wow, we're experiencing this like historic moment for him. These were his first, like literally some of his first shows. And we're sitting here having been a band for like years. And like, watching him kind of learn how to do it with us. So it was cool to be a part of that. And honestly, like his fan base, just like obviously because he's so cool, was so cool. So I felt like we fit right in. It was really fun.